Punt li jmiss fuq l-aġenda huwa d-dikjarazzjoni tal-Kunsill u tal-Kummissjoni dwar il-ħruġ tat-Turkija mill-Konvenzjoni ta' Istanbul. Nixtieq infakkar lill-onorevoli membri li għad-dibattiti kollha ta' din is-sessjoni parzjali mhux ser ikun hemm proċedura ta' catch the eye u mhux ser jiġu aċċettati karti blu. Barra minn hekk, bħal fis-sessjonijiet parzjali preċedenti, huma previsti interventi mill-bogħod mill-uffiċċji ta' kollegament tal-Parlament fl-Istati Membri. Nibda billi nagħti l-kelma lis-Sinjura Zakarias biex titkellem fuq dan is-suġġett f'isem il-Kunsill.
Madam President, honourable members, dear Commissioner Dalli. Equality between men and women is inherent to human dignity. Combating all forms of violence against women and girls is a core element of respect for fundamental rights. On Turkey's decision to withdraw from the Istanbul Convention, I would like to underline the statement issued by the High Representative last Saturday. He deeply regretted the decision by the Turkish government to withdraw from the Convention, the first international legally binding instrument aiming at ensuring essential legal protection for women and girls across the world. The decision is a huge setback, all the more as Turkey was the first country to sign this landmark treaty. Mr. Borrell also noted that this comes at a moment when violence against women has increased at new levels worldwide as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, a step backwards which sends a very dangerous message. I would like to recall that on Monday, the Council on Foreign Affairs met here in Brussels and the ministers discussed the situation in Turkey on the basis of the report presented by the High Representative. The question of the Convention was highlighted by several member states. And the following day, I had the honour of chairing the VTC meeting of Ministers of European Affairs, where we also had a discussion on Turkey's withdrawal from the Convention. And once again, many ministers echoed the High Representative's words of regret. We have seen the reaction in Turkey, as well as international reactions, including from the leaders of the Council of Europe. The Presidency, as many others, consider this a regrettable and grave matter in itself, and because it's also combined with other setbacks on Turkey, obligations to respect democracy and the rule of law. These and other recent developments will also certainly be part of the leaders' discussion on Turkey today. Honourable members, as President von der Leyen said, violence against women is not tolerable. Women deserve a strong legal framework to protect them. The Council has consistently called for increased efforts to ensure gender equality and respect human rights. The Union is redoubling its efforts to defend the rights of women and girls as fundamental elements of human rights and equality. In this context, let me reiterate the Presidency attachment to the Istanbul Convention and say that combating violence against women features prominently in the agenda of the Portuguese Presidency and of the relevant Council bodies. This year, as we mark the 10th anniversary of the Istanbul Convention, on this occasion, the Presidency will organise on the 6th of April a high-level conference with the German Presidency of the Council of Europe Committee of Ministers. The Council has repeatedly called on the Member States that have not done so to ratify the Istanbul Convention. The Presidency will continue in any possible way to work towards the conclusion of this important instrument within the legal framework set by the treaties and pending the European Court of Justice opinion requested by this Parliament. Dear honourable members, we are only a few days away from the 8th of March, and we have often debated here women's rights in this chamber. Only last month, we were discussing the 25th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and its platform of action. Much progress has been made over the past decades to the benefit of women and girls in the Union and across the world. However, as we see every day, many challenges remain. And we must keep on fighting for women's rights and combating violence against women. We have to do this all together. Thank you very much for your attention.
Grazie ħafna, Sinjura Zakarias. Issa nagħti l-kelma lill-Kummissarju Dalli biex tippreżenta l-pożizzjoni f'isem il-Kummissjoni.
Thank you, President, Minister, honorable members. The Istanbul Convention is a landmark treaty of the Council of Europe and the most comprehensive and effective legally binding instrument at international level to combat violence against women and domestic violence. Its only aim, I would say, is to ensure that violence is prevented, victims are protected, and perpetrators are prosecuted. The Commission is fully committed to eradicate violence against women in the EU and outside its borders, because violence against women is never justified. It's just not acceptable that women and girls are afraid or need to be cautious when walking down the street. We cannot look away when we know or suspect violence in the house next door. Women and girls should live free from violence and have a strong legal framework to protect them. This is why the EU signed the Istanbul Convention and why the Commission is pushing for EU accession. As you know, there are hurdles in Council, and thus, to ensure we do have a comprehensive legal framework, the Commission is preparing a legislative proposal to prevent and combat violence against women and domestic violence. We are planning to present this by the end of this year. We are hearing more and more dissenting voices on the importance and the aim of the Istanbul Convention, not only outside, but also inside the European Union. The Convention is based on the understanding that violence against women and domestic violence are not private or family matters, but criminal behavior. Consequently, politicians need to ensure it is a criminal offence in national law for which there should never be impunity. This approach requires measures for the prevention of crime, the protection of victims, and the prosecution of perpetrators. It also requires practical measures that contribute to an overall effort for better policies, services, and discourse around the violence that women and girls experience so that awareness is raised, mentalities are changed, and women are supported and empowered. I stress that the aim of those measures is preventing, and that the Convention is based on the premise that violence against women cannot be eradicated without investing in gender equality. That is what the Convention is about and what it aims for. There are no other hidden motives. Turkey's decision to withdraw from the Convention sends a regrettable signal at a bad moment. It risks compromising the protection and fundamental rights of women and girls in Turkey, with devastating effects on its entire society, at a time when this protection is needed more than ever. The High Representative Vice President Borrell was very clear in his statement issued in immediate reaction to this news. This is a wrong step from Turkey, a country that hosted the convention in the first place. It is a huge setback to efforts made in the country in recent years and sends a dangerous message across the world. We therefore cannot but urge Turkey to reverse its decision. Turkey should fully commit to defending the rights of women and girls, a fundamental element of human rights, peace, security, and equality. Now more than ever, it is essential that state parties, both in the European Union and outside, stand by the standards of the Istanbul Convention as a source of guidance for action. Now, especially at this point in time, is the moment to show leadership and enhance global efforts to fight violence against women and girls and not to retreat. This is why we regret deeply the decision of the Turkish government to withdraw from the convention that even bears the name of Istanbul, and Turkey was the first country to ratify it. The lives and health of women and girls are at stake, and we need to stand by all women and girls. I thank you.
Grazzi ħafna lill-Kummissarju. Issa ngħaddi l-kelma lill-kelliema tal-gruppi politiċi, nibdew bil-grupp tal-Partit Popolari Ewropew, Francis Fitzgerald.